the phenomena of day and night and change. That is what is meant. The phenomena of change, of life entering death and death entering life. When they ponder over this, the worldly materialistic people make things to make life easier here. And there is no question of morality. No question of morality. Everything is related to their temporary gains. Now, those people are not called wise by Allah. The wise are those who, when study the phenomena of nature, their attention is drawn to their Lord and the Creator, and they find a design in the whole thing. A design which expects them to live in a certain manner so that after death they live in a better way. They go for lasting values rather than temporary values. And they want to please the maker of the design rather than to love design itself. When they enter this realm of conduct and thinking and philosophy, immediately their conduct begins to differ from, and their approach towards life begins to differ from the rest of the people on earth. Now that way of life which they receive from their Lord, that is morality. Ultimately, morality in itself is to be defined as religious conduct. As we see morality, there is no better definition than religious conduct. The importance of religious conduct dawns upon the wise men. And who are the wise men? Not those who study the phenomena of nature as itself, but they study the phenomena of nature as in contact with the Creator. This is wisdom. And this is also morality according to them. Otherwise they wouldn't say, Rabbana ma khalaqta hadha batila, subhanaka faqina azaban nar, and the rest of the prayer which follows. Now this is a very interesting distinction between the wise men of as they are called in the world, and the wise men as they are declared wise in the Holy Quran. One wisdom is wed to morality, and the other wisdom is wed to immorality. That is where they stand apart and distinctly apart from each other. How this? I'll explain. In the one case, when you study the phenomena of nature, your attention is drawn to the Creator. And in other case, when you study the phenomena of nature, your attention is drawn to yourself, to your end of the creation. How must the creation serve us best? And how must the creation be molded to our needs? As if the creation was entirely to please them and for nothing else. If that is the attitude, if you enter a house and you forget about the builder and his purpose, then you will find it as your property, for instance. You will never think of the purposes of the builder. You will always think of how it suits you best. This is why different people make different uses of the houses. I have seen certain beautiful houses built in Qadian by highly educated people who had some drawing rooms and dining rooms and things. When we went to visit those houses, they were now at that time occupied by people of much lower culture. So in the drawing rooms we saw asses and donkeys and horses and things, and in the dining rooms we saw storage for cotton and things like that. The same house, but there the people didn't know the purpose of the builder, nor were they find themselves obliged to follow that purpose. What they thought was this was built for our convenience, and we must follow that convenience, and we must mold the house to our convenience. even if it appears ugly and most unsuitable, yet it should be converted to our convenience. So their wisdom now begins to play havoc with the house according to their own requirements. There is no adaptation. There is adaptation in the sense they adopt the house and change it to their own requirements. They don't adapt themselves to the requirements of the house. That is the requirements of the builder. So the conduct is extremely different in both these cases. Now this is a very, very simple illustration. Just to make things easy for you to understand what I want to convey to you. When you look at the creation of nature, the whole phenomena of creation and the change and the phenomena of life and death and everything, it is so immense that unless you understand the purpose of the Creator, you will not be able to have the right equation with the nature or with whatever is created. How can you find that right relationship without knowing the purpose of the Creator? So those are the wise men, according to the Quran, which observe nature and creation in respect of its Creator, their Creator, and not in respect of how best they can make use of what they find. And those who try to make use of creation as best as they can, they are declared as Sufaha in the Holy Quran. Stupid people. Because ultimately they are going to suffer. So when you turn to God for giving you a way of life, a conduct of and a code of conduct in coming into relationship with the nature, dead or alive, with human beings or beasts, then you are given a teachings. And if that teaching is for the ultimate goodness of mankind, and if that teachings requires some sacrifices here and there for the sake of ultimate goodness, this is exactly what morality is. No difference. So in the ultimate finest analysis of morality, you reach morality through wisdom. And if you follow morality, it would always lead you to religion. This is a point which is very delicate, yet I was surprised to see that Lenin was intelligent enough to understand this point. When I read him on this subject, I was really surprised. And I, as they call it, to lift one's hats off to you. That was the feeling when I found. Of course I was opposed to his way of thinking very much. On the same principle. I didn't like the inference he drew. But he reached this part of the truth all right. That if you begin to follow morality, you will ultimately be led to religion and God, and there is no gainsaying it. I am pointing to his book written against one of his co-workers, comrades of very high station in communist history. He thought that now that we have achieved the communist state, we will not be able to run it properly unless we also learn morality and teach morality. Because morality is highly essential for running any organization. He was quite right in his own way. But also was Lenin right when he said, all right, you fool, if you begin to follow morality, I assure you it will lead you to religion and God.